Donald Trump has once again shaken the world stage, this time by signaling the possible return of U.S. nuclear testing. Speaking to reporters, the former president made it clear that he does not rule out underground nuclear tests, a statement that has sparked a wave of concern among global leaders and defense analysts alike. Let's break down what's really happening here. On October 29, 2025, Trump declared that he had ordered U.S. military officials to immediately begin nuclear testing in response to what he described as aggressive moves by Russia and China. When pressed by journalists about whether that meant underground nuclear explosions, the kind that were halted decades ago, Trump gave a typically ambiguous answer. You'll find out soon. If they're doing it, we're doing it. Since 1992, the United States has maintained a moratorium on explosive nuclear tests. The last one took place at the Nevada test site more than 30 years ago. Every administration since then has relied on computer simulations and subcritical testing to maintain the reliability of America's nuclear arsenal. Trump's comments, however, suggest a possible end to that restraint, and that's what's making experts uneasy. Underground testing is not a small thing. It's not a computer simulation or a laboratory experiment. It means detonating a real nuclear device below the surface of the Earth. Even though it prevents radioactive material from spreading into the atmosphere, it still violates the long-standing spirit of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, which the U.S. has signed but never ratified. Such a move would send a signal that the world's leading nuclear power is ready to cross lines that most nations have spent decades trying to preserve. Trump's reasoning seems rooted in deterrence politics. He argues that if China and Russia are modernizing their nuclear capabilities, then America must not sit idle. He portrays this as a matter of strength and fairness that the U.S. should have the same freedom to test as its rivals. But behind that message lies a dangerous possibility, an unraveling of the fragile arms control order built since the Cold War ended. If the U.S. resumes underground nuclear tests, Russia could follow. China could too. Smaller nuclear powers, feeling the shift in balance, might also take steps to demonstrate capability or to avoid being left behind. What starts as a political gesture could quickly become a new global arms race. Technically speaking, restarting such tests wouldn't be easy. Experts estimate it would take several years to prepare a test site and rebuild the necessary infrastructure. But politically, the effect would be immediate. It would signal that Washington is no longer bound by old rules, that it sees strength, not stability, as the measure of power. Critics inside the United States have already raised alarms. They argue that America's existing nuclear stockpile is reliable and that explosive testing is unnecessary. They warn that even the suggestion of renewed testing could undermine U.S. credibility in international non-proliferation efforts. Allies in Europe and Asia, who depend on America's leadership in arms control, are watching with unease. For the rest of the world, especially regions like South Asia, where nuclear competition is already delicate, this development could add new pressure. When one major power breaks the norm, others may feel compelled to reconsider their own restraint. The global nuclear taboo, once weakened, is hard to restore. So, what does Trump really intend? No one knows for sure. His statement might be rhetorical, meant to project power and test the reaction of rivals, or it could be a genuine step towards reopening the door to nuclear testing.